Hey everybody, it's Jasmine and today I have a brand new video. This is a concept I never thought I would do on my channel, but I thought I would tell you guys products that are not worth the hype. Now, I have strong feelings about these products and why I dislike them and why I feel like you should not spend your money on them. Now, these are products that I was recommended so many times. I've seen it all on YouTube, all on the internet. People really do hype it up and really make it seem like these are miraculous products, but really they're not. At least in my experience, they are not. And so here I'm just gonna tell you guys my thoughts on everything. So let's start off with probably the most shocking thing to a lot of you guys. Now, Morphe Brushes. That's their Instagram name, right? Morphe Brushes. And I am totally here for affordable brushes, blending brushes at that. So I bought two. Now these two are the ones in my collection. The what is this? R39 and R40. These ones I heard everybody talk about. Everybody and their mama is using this brush. But I noticed that after I washed it the very first time, the hairs started to disperse a little bit and they started to feel a little bit more scratchy. Now I know it is not my brush soap or whatever it is because I go through different types of brush soaps and each time I'm cleaning these brushes, they don't feel soft and I feel like I'm jabbing like little needles in my eye. It's not pleasant, but I mean, it still does the job, but I just don't think it's all that worth it. I just think that there are so many brushes by Sigma that, I mean, yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but they perform way better. They have a 2-year warranty. Overall, they're just better quality, and I'd rather pay a little bit extra for some brushes that will last a long time and that will maintain the same quality over a span of more than 2 years, because that's how long I've had my Sigma brushes, and these ones I've only had them for a year, maybe less than a year, and they're already starting to deteriorate on me. I know that not may always be the case because these are brushes, so maybe they're manufactured differently, but I do lurk in the Morphe Brushes comments and a lot of people do have this problem as well, so I know I'm not the only one. Now the next one though, everybody loves this product, everybody references it, everybody always uses it in their makeup tutorials. It's the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is so hard, and I told you guys time and time again how I'm not a big fan of it, and I keep trying to make it work. I keep trying because I did spend my money on this, hoping that it would work. The product just stays in place, and there are other brow pencils that blend better. They're a little bit more of a softer consistency, and they last a little bit longer on the eyebrows than this one. So I would rather not spend $20 on a little eyebrow micro pencil, you know? I'd rather spend $18 on a pomade that will last me like 2 years. Tati, the queen of YouTube, the queen of reviews, the queen of mascaras, and she loves the Essence Volume Stylish Lash Extension Mascara, and I bought this specifically because of her. She always talks about it, this or the Lash Paradise, but you guys know I love using cruelty-free mascaras, so that's why I bought this. But this is so dry. It's so dry, you guys, and I just don't like that. I like my mascaras to be just a little bit more wet, a little bit more juicy than this, because to be honest, when I layer this on my lashes, it just makes my eyelashes a little bit more black. It just takes off the extra fallout on my lashes and coats them black. Other than that, no length, no volume, no nothing. The fibers that are in here, where are they? I don't know. So I would probably recommend just getting the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. That is my favorite one. Definitely skip out on this one. It's not really worth it. And besides, Essence has a variety of mascaras. They have, I think, like 20 different mascaras, so you could definitely pick and choose. I really just don't recommend that one in particular. As most of you guys know, I either love using my Shop Miss A Paw Paw Charity Sponge or my Japanesque Kumadori Sponge, and it's because it is affordable. First of all, it's so affordable, and it just blends in the foundation seamlessly. It doesn't leave any porous texture on my skin, and if it rips or falls into a corner of spider webs, then I don't feel bad repurchasing it, you know? And I also have a video testing out different beauty blender dupes and I kind of gave it away. I don't see the hype with the original beauty blender. It's cool and all, but I just feel like now so many brands have already duped this out and maybe even had a better dupe at that. I don't need to spend $20 on a sponge anymore. I could literally go on Shop Miss A and spend $1.55 for one. I could go into Sephora and pay $10 for my Japanesque one. Right now it's actually on sale for $7. But like I'm saying, $20 for a sponge, it's a little ridiculous and it's a little bit pricey. And when it first launched, don't get me wrong, I did love it so much. But as time progressed, there are bigger and better things out there on the market and you could definitely save your money on this. You don't need it. I went into Ulta today and every time I go into Ulta, I realize that this palette is almost always kind of sold out still, which is kind of surprising. The original Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, this one is the original where it's like super thick and really bulky. Okay, so this was my first ever palette and as you could see, I hit pan on some shades. This palette was the best for me. But as time progressed and as makeup starting to get a little bit more advanced, I found that this formula is quite dry. Even with the newer palette purchases, because my boyfriend bought his mom the chocolate bar palette, I was doing her makeup with that palette and it just felt dry, kind of like this. It just aged really poorly. And I wish that they maybe reformulated it to be a little bit more buttery and a little bit more soft, kind of like how some of their newer palettes are like. But, you know, I just think that the original palette is kind of falling off for me, kind of like those Naked palettes. You know, you really don't hear anybody talking about it, and that's why they discontinued it. But all tea, all shade, I just don't think that this is worth it anymore. I mean, granted, I used to love it, but now there are bigger and better and more affordable things on the market that can completely dupe this out. A lot of you guys may be shocked with the next item, and I don't blame you. But I do have my reasons. It is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance, and if you're unfamiliar, it looks like this. You can see I hit pan on this shade right here, and half this palette I like, half of it I don't. I like the nude side and then a little bit of this orange shade, but all of these shades, like the redder tones, for some weird reason, I feel like the longer I have Anastasia eyeshadows, the more it ages poorly. Now, this isn't the first time I'm ever mentioning the quality of Anastasia eyeshadows. I have a lot of her old eyeshadow palettes, the Artist palette, the Self-Made palette, the Shadow Couture palette. I have them all. But I just noticed a concurrent theme with all of them. After about 1 year of having the palette, they go a little dry, they get a little stale, and they just start performing less and less and less pigmented, and it's a little bit harder to blend. So with that being said, if you're gonna be using the Modern Renaissance, you might as well use it up within the first year, or else it's not really worth it. And I actually got this as a gift, so I'm still gonna be using it, but it doesn't wow me as much as when I first got it. When I first got it, it was everything. Everybody was using it, but now it kind of just got lost in the sauce, honestly. And I feel like there are so many other warm tone palettes that I do prefer. I prefer the color scheme of the Yes Please palette over this one, and it's just because the colors are a little bit more richer, a little bit more vibrant, and not as vintagey-esque as this one, if that makes any sense. Another Anastasia product, oh god, I talked about 3 already. Someone's gonna be like, you hate Anastasia. But I don't. This one is the Cream Contour Kit, and I feel like when people do these types of videos, the overhyped products, somebody always mentions the Cream Contour Kit, and don't get me wrong, I did like it. You know, I liked all of these products at one point, okay? Okay? But it's just the fact that this too, when it ages really, really dry. So dry to the point where you cannot revive it. No matter if you put the Inglot Duraline, no matter if you put facial oil, no matter if you put setting spray on it to dampen it, it does not want to work. And then when you do get it to get into a creamy consistency, good luck blending it, because at that point you already put way too much oil in it, so then when you blend it out, it blends out into nothing. And if you apply too much, and it's a little too dry, you can't blend it out. So it's not really worth it. But I mean, if you still want to get it, I was at Marshall's today and they have it for $18.99. So if you still want to get it, despite what I say, you could still get it at an affordable price. And I don't know, I just wouldn't recommend it at all, because you could just get a concealer at a darker or lighter shade and cream contour that way at a way more affordable price than having it in a palette. I love Lilly lashes so much, but she's so expensive. I paid $30 for these pair of eyelashes just to do me dirty. And these ones were one of my favorites when it was alive. And the reason why I think it's overhyped is because this pair of eyelash lasted me 5 uses before it disintegrated on me. And you know how I am. You know how I'm like a little bit stingy? Like if something was expensive, you know that I take a little bit more care of it. I'm a little bit more cautious about it, and I don't want to waste it as fast as something as a drugstore or an affordable brand, because I spent so much money. So these ones are the Lilly Lashes Bandless lashes in the style Faux Mink Layla. So pretty, and so sad too. One lash is a survivor. So what happened with this one is that the lash band of this is so thin, but the hairs on this is so thick and voluminous. And I believe that if you have a very thick eyelash, you should have a decently thicker lash band. It doesn't have to be super thick, but it has to have some type of thickness to hold in those lashes. Do I make any sense? But these are so thin because they're claimed to be bandless. So when I took off the glue, very gently I might add, very, very gently, because what did I pay? $30. The whole entire eyelash disintegrated on me. Look at that. That is so rude. That is so sad. So if you see anybody on Instagram using the Lilly lashes in the black box, I just do not recommend it, because I don't want anybody to spend their hard-earned money just to have it rip. But on the other hand, I do really enjoy the Lilly lashes that are in the pink box. I think that the band of those lashes go very hand in hand with the length and the style of the lashes. So definitely get those if you're looking for a little bit more of a durable eyelash, and that will be a little bit more worth your money. Here I have 2 concealers with me. This one is something that you guys actually see me use, but that's because I spent my money on it and I want to get it over with. And you know, it's a concealer, and so you can't really give it to anybody or else that's really disgusting. But this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. I have the shade Light, and the shade range sucks. I don't think that this is worth 30 bucks for a concealer. And it just creases. The shade range, I don't like it. This color is a little bit too light for me. That's why I just say like, you could skip on it. I really don't think that it is long wearing at all. So with that being said, I would just skip this one. There are so many great concealers on the market. This one completely fell off the charts for me, and I just don't think it's worth the hype. I don't think it's full coverage at all. Someone's gonna be mad at me for this one, but this is the LA Girl Concealer. I know this is white, but I kept the white one for Halloween purposes, but I did have one that was a skin tone shade. I had 2 actually, and each time I used it, it was so cakey. No matter how much or how little I used, so cakey, stayed in one place, and I felt like I couldn't blend it out. And I just can't do that with a concealer. It made my pores look so much more enlarged and emphasized because it was so thick. It ended up looking really greasy, and even if I set it with powder, it was still thick, so it kind of just consumed the powder and then still seeped through for some weird reason. So I really don't recommend this, and I know a lot of people love it. This was the one concealer I was so eager to try because I heard everybody loved it and it was so affordable. But unfortunately, this one just isn't for me, and I wish it was. I honestly wish it was, but just on me, I just don't like looking cakey. Everybody loves Wet n Wild. They're just a good brand. Yeah, I do love them. But you know, I feel like since the beginning of my channel, I have tried and tested so many Wet n Wild things, And honestly, this one palette really disappointed me, and everybody raves and everybody talks highly about their palettes for a good reason. Their Comfort Zone palette set a very high standard for eyeshadow palettes and the quality of eyeshadow palettes. However, this one is nowhere near Comfort Zone at all. This one is their new Hooked on Vinyl little quad palette, and this palette is so dry and it's not pigmented at all, and I just wish that these little quads made sense. I wish that it was a palette that you can get a complete look. Like if you were going to do a quad like this, you might as well have another type of blue that's a matte, not two shimmers and then two cream colored mattes, you know? I don't know, I just feel like they could have done it in a different way where you could get a complete look out of one palette with 4 shades. It's totally possible, but this color scheme is just not the business, especially not for me. So I would highly just pass on this one. Maybe you'll like the other larger palettes that they launched. I mean, I don't even know if I would recommend it yet. I never tried it, but you guys know what I'm saying. I just wouldn't recommend these if you're looking for something to just pop on and go. This is something that you really have to take in another palette and work with it. Hair care. Hair care is always really tricky, especially if you know me. I always have either a really huge hit or a really low miss. There is no hair product in between for me, and I think that really sucks. Like, I really hate that. So if you're unfamiliar with my hair, I do have a hair care routine, how I grow my hair, all that stuff. Now, I have a very dry and dandruff prone scalp. I get a very itchy scalp, and my hair is also very, very thick. I just tamed it with oil so it doesn't look as thick and as untamed as it always is. But I am always a big fan of leave-in conditioners because it really does help my hair maintain the softness throughout the day, and I just get less frizziness, and it's just amazing. So I actually got this as a free gift with purchase. This is the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In. This is the original. Everybody, including my family, loves It's a 10. Everybody has a product from It's a 10. If you don't have It's a 10 in the Yin household, who are you? I don't know what the hype is. Somebody, I don't know, y'all, like everybody in my family has some type of different gene or something that works with this brand, but I have the worst residue. Even if I use one pump, I will get the worst residue. My hair will feel sticky and it feels like gummy where like you try and pull it, and it's just, ooh, I cannot. I really can't with this. And I've tried it so many times. Wet hair, damp hair, dry hair, 30 minutes after the shower. You know, I've tried it all. And I've already gone down here already. And this to me, I can't. I won't. I will not. And I will pass on this. Thank you so much. You guys know what I'm talking about when you go on Instagram and somebody's doing a skincare routine and then they do their cleanser and then they wipe off their cleanser with a towel. I can't be that girl. I could never wipe off my cleanser with a towel, but then they always follow it up with a moisturizer, and more often than not, they're always using a Glam Glow product. This is so bad. This is the Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. When this launched, everybody on YouTube and on Instagram was using this product. Do you guys remember? They're still using it, by the way. And I just feel like this moisturizer is not only super expensive, mind you, I do have a sample, but this moisturizer is not only super expensive, but it just feels like unscented body lotion that you're putting on your face. The texture is the same. It's just that this has little mini pearls in it, plus a slight little cream orange scent to it. That's it. There is no miraculous, deep penetrating hydration happening. My skin doesn't stay looking illuminated throughout the day. It's just a normal moisturizer. And yes, skincare is very personal. As with everything I'm mentioning here, everything is very personal because we're all different. But to me, I just don't really see the hype of this moisturizer if it's not giving me a deep penetrating moisture. Finally, last but not least, you guys can all agree with me that you don't use this, and you probably spent your money on this, but now you don't use it. Trophy Wife by Fenty? Anybody? Anybody? Hello? Mine looks brand spanking new. Everybody, when they bought this, was using it as a highlight, like really strobing with it. And to be honest, all it is a giant eyeshadow, a giant golden eyeshadow. Where's Trophy Wife now? Huh? Fenty has not reposted a picture of anybody using Trophy Wife in such a long time, so this has definitely fallen off the radar with everybody, I feel like. And they are just, there's way better things out there. The Mean Money Hustler Baby from Fenty, that one is a great one. But I mean, hey, if you need a really good golden yellow eyeshadow, this is a good one. It's a good eyeshadow, but as a highlight, no. All right, you guys, I hope you guys all enjoy my roundup of all the Overhyped products. And I know that these types of videos, for some weird reason, let me be honest, because I know not a lot of people stay towards the end, but when YouTubers, big YouTubers, do these type of videos, they always do these disclaimers that say, you know, I'm so glad that these products work for you. You know, if it doesn't work for you, it could work for me. If it doesn't work for me, it could work for you. They always say that. And to be honest, I watch YouTube videos just like you guys, and I'm tired of hearing it. I just want to be able to express how I feel. I want you guys to express how you feel about any of these products, but I don't want you guys to be bashing me or other people for disliking or liking something, because we all have different preferences. And I think to kind of eliminate like saying that, people just put disclaimers in their videos and it just gets repetitive and it honestly gets annoying. So I just don't say them, but I just want you guys to know that just because I like to talk to you guys about things like this. So with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoy this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.